Okay, so MudWtr sent me this, and I didn't have an opportunity to shoot a video. I have been drinking it for a few days. I've been drinking this for a few weeks, actually, and on and off. And I want to give you my thoughts on it. And I'll tell you right out the gate. Straight out of the tin with hot water, stirred it up. I see why they call it MudWtr. And I also see why it comes with this cool frother, because and I understand the name a little better because it is MudWtr. It tastes like, it tastes really, really earthy, but if you don't use this frother or this stir or this whip, it's going to be a little bit grainy. Just a spoon is not going to get it all. I can tell you that right now. Just a spoon is not going to get it all. So, yeah. So that's why this becomes important. Of course, it becomes important when you start doctoring around. Now, according to the instructions, how to make the perfect mug. 1, find your recipe, which is actually the hard part. Finding your MudWtr mix is like fine-tuning a vintage guitar. It takes a bit of fiddling. Start with our suggestions, then riff on it. Your mug, your rules. So it says, add 1 tablespoon to 3/4 cup of hot water. Stir well with a frother, blender, or spoon. Stir in 3/4 cup of your favorite hot milk and 1 tablespoon of your favorite sweetener. Easy enough. Okay, but I wanted to try it just raw because I want to know what it tastes like, because if I can drink coffee black, this shouldn't be a problem. So I just wanted to try it that way, and it just didn't work for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the recipe that did work for me. Okay, so I got my mug, and I'm also going to use this nostalgia. Let me get over here. Get over here. Okay, so I'm also going to use this nostalgia. It's to be used for like hot chocolate, but I'm not too big on that. But it does have a milk frother on here. Broadcast system. So basically, this is a teaspoon. So I'm going to use 2 of these. 1, 2, and I'll tell you. It smells earthy. It smells very earthy, and it took me a while to get a recipe that actually worked for me. So for my recipe, I already know. A little bit of honey. That's my preferred sweetener because I don't like things too sweet like that. Okay, here we are. Let's see what we got here. Now, I'm not filling this up all the way. I'm leaving room in here. Whoa. Okay. So. Oh shit. Okay. Okay, so that's it. I don't do anything fancy. Just add a little bit of honey to it and try not to make a mess in your house. Like I said, I'm used to it now because I've been doing this thing for a while. It does not. Let me move this back so we can vibe the right way. I'll tell you like this. This does not taste like coffee, as it's not meant to. It's a coffee substitute. So there you have it. That is my MudWtr. That is my MudWtr video. Would I like to try other brands of MudWtr? Absolutely. So, will it replace my coffee? I can't say. I've been drinking it on and off, but I've also been getting more into tea. So I don't know what I'm going to try next. But I do like it. I think it does have promise, and I think it is a matter of taste. It's definitely a matter of taste because when you think about it, I'm such a coffee snob. I've been drinking it for years, and I constantly try different coffees, and I'm like, awful. I'll go someplace and I'll be like, what are you brewing? Dark, you know, stuff like that. So, try it for yourself. You can use the discount code that I'm going to add to this video and try it for yourself, and you'll get a discount on it. I'm not sure what the discount is, but I know you'll get a discount on it, and I'll blink it across the screen. So, MudWtr, thank you for sending this to me. I really appreciate it, and I'm drinking it. And I'm going to try something else because they have specials going on all the time. They might flood your email a little bit. But, yeah, I can deal with the MudWtr. Absolutely. Yeah. So, let's get into my video.
Aggregate what they can do with the Geeks team.
As you can see, I did move into another place. I haven't done like this tour kind of thing, but I will. I'll do a room tour. But first, I want to take you out to something that really sold me on this place when I decided to move into it. Amazing, right? Let me flip this thing back around. Amazing, right? Yeah, my neighbor's really doing. I wonder if my landlord's here. I have the sweetest landlord. She's the property manager. I guess landlord is an old term, but the property manager is. Landlord is the owner, property manager is yeah. But anyway, I have the sweetest property manager ever. She got me into this place. She wanted me to move into this place. Oh man, that's such a dope thumbnail. Just like new apartment tour kind of thing. And this is a dope, this is a fire door. They painted it red. So yeah, this is actually great for a backdrop kind of thing, you know what I mean? Set your camera down, and I could literally sit back and shoot a video like this. Okay, so this is the thing. I moved out of my old apartment after 4 years of dealing with the mice and raccoons and rats and roaches and rodents. Okay, so I didn't have all of those things, but I'm just ready to move on. My son was ready to move on, and this place is really, really nice. Really enjoy it so far. I love the ceiling work, by the way, how all of these exposed beams, it's like that throughout the buildings. Okay, so this is my new place. So now I want to talk about the books that I did actually have an opportunity to read. First, let's start with this one. This is The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea by Yukio Mishima. This was a very, very short read. I will say that 181 pages. It tells the story of Noboru, who is I think he's 13. Noboru is a teenager who is trying to find his place in the world. He is part of a gang of young teenage boys who seem to reject everything about traditional society, and they thrive on chaos, which is actually okay for young boys. They do little mischievous things. They're just at a very, very rebellious age. Now, Noboru's dad is gone, so he lives with his mother, Fusaku. His mother's very, she owns a boutique, so she's a sophisticated, not necessarily stern, but smart, and of course longs for her husband who is not there, and worries for her son who runs with this bands of boys. Now, it has been a month since I read this book. She locks his door at night. That was one of the key points I want to remember. She locks his door at night so that he won't sneak out, because he is at that age. But I think that the mother in this story is very, very naive to just how far in the streets of Japan her son is. And this is set to a backdrop of World War II. Needed to say that. So they live together. He runs with his gang. His mother locks his doors at night. Here comes the sailor, Ryuji. He meets the mom, and they fall in love. I believe that Noboru was initially, I have to say that, was initially taken with this sailor because of his occupation. He gets to roam the seas completely unattached with anything other than destiny and the sea. So Noboru sees him as being this adventurous man, and all but begins to idolize him, because he is like the ideal manifestation of the rebellious, nihilistic and rebellious nature that him and his friends are seeking, against authority. So he doesn't have to be traditional, and he doesn't have to fall into this westernized idea of the world like he looks at his mother as, because his mother has this retail shop and she's sophisticated and she wants to be married. And anyway, the book is broken up into, was it summer and winter? Let me see. I can find out really quick. Part 1 is summer. Part 2 is winter. Now, this book was written by Yukio Mishima, who died of ritualistic suicide. He's like, he's from Japan. And that's a whole nother layer of this story. It actually helps you to understand Noboru that much more, to understand the authors. This is dark. It's philosophical, and it does explain why the book is so short, but it's a lot of ideas that just kind of make this book work. So this is a book that I picked up at Barnes & Noble. This matter of fact, she was old. This old lady, I saw it, and the crazy part about it is it shows a little boy drowning in the cover, okay? They had a 30% off sticker right here covering it, and it just made me think. I was just interested, but this is not enough I don't think it's enough to just interest people. It does represent a Red Sea to me, but to see the little boy drowning in there kind of takes it up a level. So it kind of works for me. Did I enjoy this book? It was a little bit difficult to read. A good portion of this book was difficult for me to read, not because of the text, but because I was reading it at night, and I would guess like the early pages, I was just like, I'm falling asleep. So I had to read this book in the daytime, and once I really got into it and really understood more about the author, and it helped me to understand some of the dark humor and the dark themes that are buried quite nicely into this novel. So would I recommend this novel? Sure, I would recommend it. It's a short read. You can get through this thing. Some people, if I say 2 days, some people are going to say, I can get through it in a day. If I say a day, some people are going to be like, I can read it in an hour. And it probably could. It took me a couple weeks to read this boy. I'll tell you right now, because like I said, I just kept falling asleep on it. But do I recommend it? Yeah, I hate to say that. Because everyone has to kind of do this thing for themselves called reading. But the way it ended, I was just like, you have to read it for yourself. The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea by Yukio Mishima. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of a cruel joke. I'll tell you that much. Okay, so my next book. It's not a short story, but this is the thing. I was so frustrated a couple of weeks back. This is right before I was told that that I got this loft. I was so frustrated. I was frustrated with my place. I was like, I just can't, continue to stay in this place. It's getting cold outside, which makes it a little bit more difficult to find a place. And I was going through a lot of other anxiety, just like with the job and or like thereof. A whole lot of things going on, just personal things that I had to deal with, and I needed something, and I needed to read something, and I needed to read it right then and there. I was like, if I don't read it, that day, I would have went back to some of my, bad habits. Everybody has them. I'll tell you like that. I was that frustrated. It was late, and it was almost like I needed to read something to make me feel better. And lo and behold, it was as if the literature walls and opened up, and The World According to Fred Rogers, to Mr. Rogers, of course. The World According to Mr. Rogers, important things to remember. Fred Rogers. Hope that you guys can see that. This book, I paid $1 for, and I've always admired Fred Rogers. Always had a fondness for him. I'll put it that way. Always had a fondness for him. Matter of fact, before I do that, I didn't read this, and I always read. 13-year-old Noboru is a member of a gang of highly philosophical teenage boys who reject the tenets of the adult world. To them, adult life is illusory, hypocritical, and sentimental. When Noboru's widowed mother is romanced by Ryuji, a sailor, Noboru is thrilled. He idolizes this rugged man of the sea as a hero. But his admiration soon turns to hatred as Ryuji forsakes life on board the ship for marriage and rejects everything Noboru holds sacred. Yes, he decides to get married. Upset and appalled, he and his friends respond to this apparent betrayal with a terrible ferocity. The terrible ferocity in this book, you have to understand the kind of person that Yukio Mishima was. I would just say that, and I'm not going to tell you anything more. But anyway, back to Fred Rogers, and I love the cardigan. I should have put on my cardigan just to talk about it. Matter of fact, hold on a second. Hello, friends. I needed this book. I needed it, and it came to me exactly when I needed it. It was copywritten in 2003. I can flip anywhere. When I was a boy, I used to think that strong meant having big muscles, great physical power. But the longer I live, the more I realize that strength has much more to do with what is not seen. Real strength has to do with helping others. The gifts we treasure most over the years are often small and simple. In easy times and in tough times, what seems to matter most is the way we show those nearest to us. We've been listening to their needs, to their joys, and to their challenges. It's on understanding love. He has this broken down into, the contents is broken down. Joanne Rogers, his wife, did the foreword. First section is the courage to be yourself. The second one is understanding love. Third is the challenges of inner discipline, and we are all neighbors. This is amazing. I was up and I was really purging because I'm not gonna be one of those people that turn on the camera, but I was just like, you're right, Fran. Absolutely right. But when I was done, I felt so much better. I read that cover to cover, and it sits now. It's just like bedside. It's one of the things that I keep by my bed. So if you have not read that, if you can find a copy of that, it's very, very special. That's my copy, and I'm not giving it up. But Fred Rogers was an amazing person. His words just have a soothing honesty to them. So I really enjoyed that. After that, I began. This is right before the move. I began Go Tell It on the Mountain by James Baldwin. I am got an elephant ear right there. I can't even read the pages. This font is so small. I am 14 pages in, and the preacher's son, it's exactly what I expect from James Baldwin. It's just like Richard Wright. They can spin a web and speak so eloquently about the harshest realities. It just really hits. It really hits hard. And I'm only a portion of the way through. So now that I've gotten to the point where my place is starting to come together a little bit, I still have to do things with my books. But I have this great idea of how I want to utilize the books without taking up space. I'm thinking of getting all floating shelves. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know. I want to incorporate floating shelves. I'm going to, of course, put my picture books here. I will get 2 dedicated bookshelves, and I'll probably put them right here because this looks like a great place to shoot. See, I'll have this wall behind me as my backdrop up into this beam. You see how that beam perfectly kind of divides things. So it'll be books going that way. So I have my backdrop just kind of sitting in this chair, and I pulled this lamp out for this video, but at my lamp here, and this is my, I can just sit, and in the daytime I don't need much light because I do have the window is right there. So yeah, that's just what I have going on. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too rough. I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but I am in the pocket, and I am in a good place. Thank you, Lord, and thank you to everyone who watches my videos, who comments. I haven't forgotten about you guys. I know you guys. I love you guys. And I will get back to reading comments more. I hope that the audio is not terrible on this video. I'm going to be very upset if it is because this was so muffled. So it probably doesn't sound too great. I'm finding my way back. I'm getting more and more into my reading journey. It's a never ending thing. But when you're moving, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm so exhausted. I don't have a whole lot of help moving these things. But yeah, so so just to recap, Yukio Mishima is the Mishima, Yukio Yukio Mishima, the sailor who fell from grace with the sea, is a dark philosophical read. It man, cruel joke. That's what I'll say. I won't say anything else. You have to read it for yourself. The World According to Mr. Rogers. I tell you, this book is so powerful, and I love it so. It's so dear to me. It came into my life at the perfect time, exactly where I needed it, when I needed it. And this is no BS. It was like I just felt like I was going crazy, and I just needed to relax, but I wanted to read, and that's one of the challenges when you're trying to do something and you don't have the energy. You have to find it from somewhere. You have negative thoughts going on in your life, and you just need that positive. This is the grandfather. This is literally the grandfather. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a grandfather, and my goal as a grandfather, because that's kind of how I look at Mr. Rogers, like a grandfather type. Being a grandfather, happy birthday to Isaac, my grandson. Today is his birthday. I talked to him earlier. He's so handsome. Maybe I'll flip a picture across the screen. Yeah, I will. Um, if I don't remember, sorry, grandson. He says he watches my videos, uh, but it makes me want to be more of the grandfather that I didn't have. Yeah. And James Baldwin, I'm gonna pick this up tonight. I'm actually going out with a friend to lunch. When I come back, I'm gonna stop over to my old place. I'm gonna get some things done, bring some more things over, and yeah, I cannot wait to get about 3 or 4 solid hours in. I might even do a read with me video since I do have my full array of camera equipment. So we'll see what happens. I want to thank you for watching this video. I am BT Bonner, and stick around. There's more to come, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. I finished the video. Yay. So happy to finish the video. It's been so long. It's been so long. Yeah. And thank you to MudWtr for sending me the MudWtr. It takes a long time to get used to anything, and I did want to add this to MudWtr, regarding MudWtr. It takes a amount of time to get used to things, especially when it comes to your taste buds. I can remember when the idea of drinking black coffee was just like, black. I need cream. I need sugar. I need this. I need that. In much the same way, we add seasoning and all those things to meat to make it taste in a way more like a vegetable. We add onion powder, we add garlic powder, we add rosemary, we add thyme, we add Himalayan sea salt. We add all of these healthy ideas to something that when you think about it, to something. I'm not gonna get all off into the whole vegan thing. No, not gonna do it. But yeah, it's almost like you have to give yourself time. So yeah, that's it. That's my message for the day. Just give yourself time. Try something different. You know, you'll be surprised how far it'll take you. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Aggregate what they can do with the Geek I effects. And we usually like the